I do remember that. Like when I heard I was doing this podcast with y'all again, like it brought back memories of like us touring together, and I was telling my wife about it, and I was like, oh man, I just remember those dudes being so funny and like fun to hang out with.
You're listening to Sappenin Podcast.
Sappenin!
You are listening to episode 339 of Sappenin Podcast, presented by Emo's Not Dead, featuring myself, Sean Smith, and my good friend Morgan Richards.
Yes, it's me, Morgan Richards, and I know most people get to this section and think, oh, it's all downhill from here.
Oh, my fuck it.
Because I've been known as quite a Pundik, but
that's worse.
I always give 100%.
Oh.
Hit or miss?
Miss. This week's guest, if you hadn't guessed by him fucking crowbarring terrible song title puns in, not that song titles are terrible, the puns are terrible. This week's guest is Newfound Glory singer Jordan Pundik.
Yes, one of our favourite pop punk vocalists of all time. If there was a Mountain Rushmore for pop punk, I think he'd have to be on there.
I'd like to put him on there.
Yeah.
So, there he is then.
Can you chisel?
Can I what?
Can you chisel?
No. Anyway.
Like the band have created such a legacy within this scene. Every artist that has come over the last 20 years has an influence from this band. And lately they've had a bit of rough times with Chad's announcement of battling cancer and having to go through all that. There's been a couple of different things they've had to incorporate live because of this. But right now, being stronger and releasing music better than ever. The new single 100% was just released, back in the studio recording new music, and they are coming over to the UK this weekend for Slam Dunk Festival. Woo. So Jordan gave us the chance to have a little chat with him before he gets on that long plane to talk about everything. Long plane. It's quite big.
What, the plane is?
No, the hours, but I realised...
Did you get a seat to the back, and by the time he walks to the front, he's in the UK? Because that's how long the plane is.
That's a really long plane. That would go over the ocean. Anyway, we got to talk to him about a whole bunch of stuff, and it's just like talking to an old friend, isn't it?
Absolutely lovely. We hadn't seen him since the COVID days of 2020. Was it 2020 we saw him?
Yeah. And
we saw him in the flesh as well, and we haven't seen him for quite some time, so it was lovely to reconnect with him, share stories, because I was lucky enough to tour Newfound Glory many moons ago for Kerrang magazine, and as we touched on in this chat, we had a blast. We did forget to mention the FIFA tournament that we had backstage, but we had a great time with them, and they are, like you said, fucking inspirational pop punk mega giant. It was great to talk to Jordan, and I'm very, very excited about seeing him this weekend at Slam Dunk. Yeah,
we're both going to be there at both dates. Hopefully
both of us
are going to be there at the same time in both... No, not at the same time in both places. That doesn't make sense.
Impossible.
We're going to be at Hatfield on Saturday and Leeds on Sunday together.
Yeah.
I hope so anyway, because you're supposed to give me a lift. So if you're not, then
as we've done for the last
5-6 years, probably. Yeah.
We said all that at the same time as well. Anyway, this is... if you want to support us, check out patreon.com/Sappenin.
And go to emosnotdead.com to find out loads of information on some lovely coffee, merchandise, and a cruise you can get involved in,
on the fucking cruise,
2026. I've been told, not just now, but earlier, that there's 40 cabins left for Emo's Not Dead Cruise 2026.
It's fucking massive.
It's got an insane lineup from everyone from Silverstein to The Used to Dance Gavin Dance.
Mailing and the Sons of Disaster, we'll mention every time we talk about it.
You do, because you can't believe they're there.
I can't.
And hopefully we'll be there as well.
Fingers bloody crossed.
But we'll be at Slam Dunk this weekend. Keep up to date with everything at Sappenin Pod on Instagram for what we got going on. And if you see us, come and shout Sappenin, because we'll have stickers as well. So just want people to know.
Would we?
Yeah.
Tidy. Sappenin!
Sappenin!
Let's get on with it.
Sappenin.
Sappenin.
Oh,
Sappenin,
nice.
bros.
Oh, Gav. Oh, brother. Yes.
All right, you're all right, mate.
I mean, yes. This week's guest is singer, songwriter, and as you've just heard, master of accents. The beautiful, beautiful Jordan of Newfound Glory. Jordan, how are you?
I'm pretty good. I'm home for like 2 days, and then I fly out to your side of the pond.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry, but it'll be great. It'll be great. Yeah, this week you're at the fantastic Slam Dunk Festival.
Yeah.
Yeah, when were you over last for that? That was a while ago, right?
Oh shit! Like it was before COVID, so 6 years. 6 years. Which is crazy because we come to the UK. We were coming to the UK once, sometimes twice a year. So it was really weird to not be there for that long. And I'm finally able to come back. And so we're all pretty hyped about it. I'm not hyped about flying from San Diego by myself to Heathrow because it's like 12 hours, but but it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah, that's a killer. 12-hour flight. Oh, have you got anything? Have you got anything lined up on Netflix to watch or something to kind of? It's gonna be a long one, man.
No. Yeah, I know. I just hope it's an evening flight, so I'm just gonna try and take a sleeping pill or something, and wake up on hopefully wake up when we're like close to landing.
Yeah, and not jet lagged, and then completely in sync with the British time. Hopefully, fingers crossed.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh wow! Well, yeah, we've got our fingers crossed for you on that one. But no, how are you doing at the moment, George? I mean, it's all systems go in the Newfound Glory camp lately. You've just played a couple of festival shows in the States and stuff. Obviously, as you said, preparing for Slam Dunk coming over here. But how are things just going day to day right now?
It's up and down. I'm sure you guys know about Chad's health situation. That's been a little bit of a challenge. He's a fucking beast, this guy. I swear. He's like, I don't care. Juice me up and put me back in the studio. Juice me up. I'm playing Nashville. Juice me up. I'm going to do this. So, but it is up and down, and that's been a weird thing for the past few years. Obviously he's my brother, and I love the guy to death. And so that's been a little bit of a challenge, but luckily, he's like staying the course, and we have really great friends. Like Dan from 4 years has been playing with us. So it's been great, man. Like in that regard, we got a lot of support.
Yeah. How is Chad doing at the moment? Like, is there any updates with everything? Because as you said, we keep seeing glimpses of him now and again, like writing and then playing some shows with you guys. It does seem an up and down if and when.
Yeah, it's definitely up and down. There's not really any updates. It's more just like keeping things at bay at this point. And so that's kind of like what he's focusing on. I mean, cancer is fucked up, and it can some days it's like you're feeling great and everything's fine. And then there's days where you're just like, don't want to get out of bed. So it's just, it's up and down. So
how are the rest of you been kind of grouping together these last few years? Because as much as awful as obviously everything Chad's going through, you guys have obviously had to kind of navigate a lot of different stuff and work this band out while still kind of being a brother for him and everything this. I'm sure that hasn't been easy either. How would the rest of you kind of taking a grasp on this?
That's pretty, I mean, you kind of nailed it with saying like coming together. That's what we've been doing. Cyrus, Ian, and I, we've just been coming together, and, we're out continuing to do what Newfound Glory does. And just try to make Chad proud, and make ourselves proud that we can still do what we're doing. And he's still there behind the scenes, man. He's still like making videos and posting stuff, and like, we'll take clips of things of us on tour or whatever, and he'll put things together and post that. And like, wow. So he's not just laying around. Like, I mean, he stays busy. We got like a record coming out like later in the fall, and he's like getting all the artwork stuff going. And, we're going to be in the UK, but he's going to still be doing stuff. So I think right now we've figured out like the right like formula to keep things moving.
Yeah, you mentioned the album coming out in the fall. You've released 100% so far, which is fantastic. It's unapologetically newfound glory, and I absolutely love it.
Thank you.
How was that? How was writing that and recording that, and what was the feedback like so far?
Feedback has been awesome. We recorded it. We did like a Disney cover. We did this cover song from The Little Mermaid for this Disney compilation where a bunch of bands got together and did different songs. It's silly but really fun. And during that time, we recorded. Chad had the riff for 100%, and he's like, we should record this song and release it, and like kind of like drop that we're going to put a new record out. So that was like 9 months ago we recorded that song. So obviously things have kind of like, with the songwriting process, things have sort of evolved. And from that song, even though that song is a little bit of a taste of like what the record kind of sounds like, the record itself and the songs on there, there's a lot of different styles. There's like one song that we're putting out that's like straight up like Matthew Sweet, like power pop song, which I love. Then there's like some heavy, like, you know, songs with like all gang vocals, you know, so it's like in typical Newfound Glory fashion, you know. So like, even though 100% came out, like I still think that there's 9 or 10 other songs that I'm really excited for people to hear more than 100%. So, you know.
But you guys literally have just finished up the studio time as we talked to you, like this last couple of weeks. I mean, obviously, you guys are experts at doing this, but this is album number 11. And I'm sure that's insane to even think about, like, all the songs and all the time and everything that you have put in to this band, into a studio, and put songs out. Like, when you get past a certain number of records, like, it seems, the number itself seems silly. I'm sure you must feel the same way.
Yeah, it does. It's funny because, you know, whenever we write a record, it's never like, all right, man, got to put 13 songs on there. And we got to just like fart out 13 songs. Like it's always, everything always has intention behind it, which is a testament to the band. I think, you know, we think too much, you know? And I think that's helped us, but I also think it's maybe held us back a little bit too, because we overthink so much. Oh, what are our fans going to like? What, you know, oh man, I don't know. Like, should we put a fast song on this record? I don't, you know what I mean? Like, but each record has always been like a little timepiece of like what's going on with the band. It's always been real. It's always been, it's always just been what we're going through, you know? And so we did, for this one, it's actually like one of the shorter records that we've done a long time. There's only gonna be 10 songs, and they're 10 focused songs. And, you know, it's not just, I don't think there's any filler. So yeah, all killer, no filler.
that title's taken, I believe.
I was about to say, that'd be a great name for an album.
Damn it.
Well, is it anymore, technically? I mean, well, yeah. They can, I think, would they all get back together just to sue for you stealing that name, maybe? I don't know.
They might get back together. They might get back together. They've already done it. How many times have they got back together?
Yeah. It's, yeah.
I love those guys.
Snap.
How different as this recording process felt? I'm sure, like, you know, obviously with Chad's helping everything as well, there might have been more of a coming together and him being extra excited about kind of like taking focus into music away from everything as well. Like, was there a huge difference in just kind of things behind the scenes, or is it more just you all guys just being like, absolutely, let's do a record. This is a perfect time to do one?
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a combination of both. I mean, obviously, you know, he would come in and he would be able to record for as long as he could, and then he'd go home. And then the rest of us would kind of do our stuff. And then he'd come in the next day. We'd listen down to things. We'd change some things. So I think it was a combination of that, and also like, let's fucking put a record out. Cause it's been, I mean, shit, Forever and Ever Times Infinity came out. We recorded in 2019. It came out year one of COVID. So that record didn't even get to really see the light of day for anything. I mean, we put out the one song for that record. What the hell is it called? Jesus Christ, I can't think of the name. I can only remember the working title. Anyways, we put out that song, and that was, that whole record cycle was COVID time, so super weird. So we haven't put a real record out in a while. It's been shit. COVID is now like 5 years ago.
It's crazy, isn't it?
It's so weird. So weird.
Can I ask what the working, because I love hearing bands working titles for things, because it's normally what it might sound like, or how you were feeling in the moment, or a stupid lyric, or
it wasn't anything that great. I think it was a Kid Dynamite-y fast song.
Nice. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah, that's perfect. Yeah. My band at the moment, I have one called, the working title is, it's based off Swerve City, so we've just called it Swerve Shitty, because it's not as good as Swerve City by the Deftones. So yeah,
I like Swerve Shitty.
Swerve Shitty, yeah.
Did you have a lot of, for this record, have you had a lot of random filling in names on the whiteboard and stuff before you've actually thought of working titles?
Yeah. There's there's one called Earth Crisis Pop Crunch. There was sounds like a good cereal, right?
I got cereal vibes out of that straight away.
What else are some other ones? Boom Roasted from The Office.
Yeah.
But I think that one I want to keep as a real title.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I mean, Earth Crisis Pop Crunch is a good. I'm trying to, So I'm guessing the song sounds a bit like an Earth Crisis song, but it's got a pop in it, and it's a bit heavier.
Yeah.
I need to hear that song now. Yeah, I need to hear fucking Newfound Glory's. See, this is the thing. If you name them these things, people will be like, shut the fuck up. It doesn't sound like that, does it? And then if they listen to it and go, oh no, it does. That's unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh, perhaps I'll just do that. Yeah, perhaps moving forward, just all my band's output will be, just fucking made up song titles at the time. Yeah, that's Earth Crisis Pop Crunch. Oh, I can't wait now. I cannot wait now. But
Drew, has there ever been any song titles that is being rejected where it doesn't have anything to do with the song whatsoever, and you're always like, oh, we should have named this that thing?
Yeah. For this record in particular, or just any in general?
Just any in general.
Yeah. There was a lot. What I can't recall that right at this moment because it was, but yeah, definitely.
Love it. I love all these behind the scenes things. I noticed that you guys posted a giant gang vocal photo of people who have come on this, and just looking through it very quickly, I can see like Chris Carrabba was there, some of the guys from Bayside, like. Is this something you just normally like to do? Like, what is the criteria? Is it just seeing who's around? Or do you like, do you know what? We haven't had any dashboard on this or one of our songs. We need to get it on. Like, how does it work? Yeah,
it's more like what kind of crew can we get together for today last minute to come in? And we're recording outside of Nashville in Tennessee. And all those guys live there. So everyone's moved to Nashville. Franklin in particular, so many band people, whether it's just to get out of like the big city or like, I don't know, like it's probably has to do with fucking school district. Who knows? But because everyone has kids now, but yeah, Anthony was home and Chris was home and they all lived close to the studio. And then, our friend Nick from Further Seems Forever, he was there. A bunch of ours just homeboys from like Cincinnati came, like, our friend Stevie, who's done merch for us forever, and our friend Ghetto Josh. It's like just whoever was around, that's kind of how it always is. And then, but it just so happens that a lot of our good friends from, we've known Chris Carrabba since we were like teenagers, just growing up in South Florida together. It's the cherry on top is that they're in the cool bands. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, very much so. So did you guys self-record this and self-produce this, or was this with a producer?
I was with a producer, Steve Evitz. He did our last record too.
Awesome.
And then Neil Avron is mixing.
Ooh, oh wow!
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and we love Neil. We haven't done a full record. We haven't done a record where he's produced it in a long time, since Radio Surgery was the last one he did. He doesn't really produce much anymore. Like, he just mixes, and he's friggin' expensive. So now, but he's awesome. We love Neil. I love him. And Steve Evans is he's kind of like a Neil. They kind of look the same too. And they kind of have a similar vibe, and Steve's just been around for so long, and Steve's done so many amazing records we all grew up listening to. And even now, he's done everything from Saves the Day to Sepultura to Limp Bizkit to Senses Fail to, so much stuff. So he's awesome. He gets it.
It's a shame Steve didn't fall around for gang vocals, because there's a varied bunch of voices there. You could have fucking Fred. You could have had Fred Durst on a backing vocal. Yeah, boy.
Yeah.
Fucking. Oh, yeah. That's good. No, I love the idea that Newfound Glory only work with producers who look similar.
Yeah. They gotta look alike and feel the same. It feels like.
Yeah, you don't listen to any of their back catalogue or anything they've ever done, and just he does look like Neil, so he's in.
Yeah, he's in.
But yeah.
Oh, dude, this is the thing. We just love the silly things behind the scenes. I just love the idea that people are massive fans of these other bands, and they'll have no idea that they've been backing vocals on your songs unless they dive into every little detail. But I feel these last few years, as being a lot of reflection for Newfound Glory in a lot of ways as well, right? We've actually maybe had more time to sit back and look what the band has achieved and done throughout your tenure. And, I think it's safe to say that you guys are classified as such a legacy band to a whole generation of artists and fans of the pop punk scene, as someone who got so many different names into that music. How do you see Newfound Glory today in 2025 compared to the early days of everything? Do you have that kind of chip on your shoulder where you realize that, or are you still just trying to figure out in your own head, and all these other accolades are just things that you don't necessarily take in as much?
Dang, look at you with the deep questions. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, you'll do that.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Sorry. No, it's great. I think it's a little combination of both. For me, when I look at myself in the mirror, right, I don't see the guy from Newfound Glory. I just see me. I come home and I turn off band guy. I'm not band guy at home. Which, for a lot of dudes that are in bands, I look at the Good Charlotte Bros, right? They're constantly doing stuff. They're constantly, we're buying AP magazine. We're starting this thing. We're doing this thing. But for me, it's that's awesome. And that's great for them. And I love that. But for me, I turn off fan guy when I'm home. And I feel like that kind of, it could, again, that's another thing that could either help me or hurt me. I don't know. But to me, it's when you say accolades and bands that have started because of my band or whatever, or an influence, I love that. I think it's amazing. I mean, we've been around a long time, so it's only natural for that to happen. But if a band comes up to, if it's someone from a band says, yo man, you're an influence on my band, I think that's awesome. But I'm not going to let it get to my head or something, I don't know. And again, I said, I come home and I just kind of turn it off. I don't feel like I'm in a band, a lot of times, unless I go to the mall on a Saturday at Hot Topic or something, and people come up to me, but I don't know. I just feel people are just, there's a lot of dudes out there that are in bands that are doing well, and they just that's kind of their only identity. And I don't know. For me, it's not really like that. Does that make sense? I'm kind of rambling, I think.
No, I completely understand it, because as well, again, as you said, you've done this for so long, but you also have a lot of different sides to you, right? You tattoo, you love coffee, you're a dad. There's all these things that do take up time, and you can escape from just thinking music 24/7 about.
yeah, like having to do like the coffee stuff and the tattooing stuff, I know it kind of goes hand in hand with music in a lot of ways, but with being involved with coffee stuff, like it just kind of takes me out of my element, and I love it, and it's fun. It's different. Same with tattooing. Like I get to meet people and just talk to people one-on-one. That's like the best part of it for me. I feel like, like people come and get tattooed by me and they just feel the need that they can just open up to me and just talk to me about shit, which is great. Like that's fine. It's a one-on-one thing. And like a lot of the people I tattoo, 90% are fans, which is fine, and so it's cool. And I don't feel like I need to be out there grinding and like pushing newfound glory all the time. Like, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Of course.
When did you tattoo last? When were you tattooing last?
I tattooed last in January because I had to move out of my spot. My wife and kids and we went to Japan at the end of January, and we were there till April. We were there for a long time.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't want to pay rent on a space. I had a private space. So we moved my stuff into storage. I'm just paying like a little storage fee for stuff. But I don't know when. I'm so busy till the end of the year now, so I don't know when I'll have a chance to tattoo this for the rest of this year. People hit me up to like tattoo them like when I'm on tour and stuff, but it's too hard to do.
Do you even bother to take the tattooing gear with you anymore? Or
no, and Ian gives me so much shit about it. He's like, you'll tattoo all these fucking people, but you won't tattoo your friends, bro. I'm like, dude, it's so much more pressure.
Yeah. And you have to see it most days then as well. You'll be like, I might not. Yeah, that might not be 100%. And now I'm going to regret looking at him every day for the rest of my life.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, I'm not like this amazing tattooer. I know that, but I stick to what I know. Like I do little just black line work, I like doing hand poke stuff. It's super fun for me because it really represents the way I draw and how my art is. Even though I've only done a handful of hand pokes, I do most of my tattoos with a machine, but I just stick with like black line work, weird, just, I don't know, prison style looking stuff,
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you find that when fans ask you to get tattooed, is it that they want Newfound Glory specific stuff, or is it just they just want the other tattoos they want, but they want you to do it because they like your music?
Yeah, I think it's a half and half.
Yeah.
Because I don't really sit down and draw flash and stuff like that. It's more like custom for the person that's getting it. So they'll book with me and then they'll say, this is what I'm kind of looking for. And I'll be like, okay, that idea is kind of weird and I don't think it'll work, but I can do something similar. Because people are like, I want this girl's head opening up with like, she's looking at herself in the mirror, like inside her head. And like, just God. Weird. And because they know I do weird stuff, but like some stuff is too intricate and like, you got to kind of like help people tone things down. But a lot of it is like that. And then half of it is they want some sort of imagery that I've come up with. Like they'll give me sort of like a little idea of what they want. And then I'll draw it up custom for them. And then typically they'll want me to add like a lyric or something, but it's not necessarily like a Newfound Glory tattoo, like the guy from Catalyst or something. Like it's not really that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Have you tattooed anybody in bands that we'd know?
Tattooed a couple of Fireworks guys. I tattooed. Who else did I tattoo? No, not really.
I'm surprised this list isn't endless. Like,
I've gotten hit up by a guy like Jarrett, Bowling for Soup. Jarrett wants me to tattoo him. He hit me up. But he lives in Texas, so I don't know if he'll come to California. Yeah. I'm trying to think who else has asked me, but never really did it. I can't remember. Yeah.
I'm shocked there's not a fucking massive list of bands who've been tattooed by you. Like, I want one now, and it's just because,
Do you have any tattoos?
Oh yeah, I've got a few. They're mainly leg bangers. I had my little toe tattooed because my tattooist friend told me that's the most painful place to get tattooed. And it might be. It wasn't fun. My little toe.
Yeah. Getting tattooed sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, it's not.
It's seriously.
Just like doing it to other people. That's fine.
Yeah, but that's the thing. I'm so apologetic when I tattoo people because I hate hurting people. So they're always like, "Dude, you're in the wrong business then."
Yeah.
Sorry, but
I'm
sorry.
Yeah, I'm tattooing them like, "I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry."
What was that trip to Japan? That's a long time to be out there, but obviously there's so much to do. It's a bucket list place for me. I've never been.
Yeah.
What was it like with you and the family? Is there certain things you wanted to get up to in particular, or is this just something you guys had like planned for a while?
Yeah, we had planned it for a while. We've been there. We went there maybe 7 years ago as a family, and then my wife lived in Hiroshima for a few years.
Oh.
And she was teaching English, and she's pretty good with Japanese. It kind of comes and goes. Like if you don't use it, you lose it, kind of thing. But she was teaching English there for a couple of years, and then so she has like built-in, Japanese family and like friends and stuff. And then through her, I've met those people, and it's wonderful. Like I love the Japanese people, the culture, the food, everything. And it was kind of one of those things where we had talked about living there for a year before my oldest one went to high school. He goes to high school next year, which is fucking crazy. That's a whole nother conversation. But so we were like, let's do a year. And then as we started doing more research and all that stuff, it was just going to be too complicated, especially with having we have a giant dog that was going to be $5,000 to ship her over. Ooh. And then you have to wait. Then you have to quarantine them for 2 weeks. And it's just a whole thing. And then getting like our specific like visas to live there for the year. It has to be like through a work visa or like a, school or something. And I was thinking, oh, well, maybe I can get an entertainer's visa and do like emo nights or something, because I've done a couple of those in the past there. But then it just was becoming too challenging. And then all of a sudden we're getting like all these offers for festivals here in the US and tours and different things. So it was going to be like too hard. So we decided, let's just do a couple months and just feel like what it's like to live there. And so we did half the time in Tokyo, which was great. Got an Airbnb and just lived there. And then traveled for about a week from Tokyo, and then traveled down to Hiroshima, and then stayed in Hiroshima for half the time. So it was really awesome. Yeah, the kids had to do fucking homeschool and shit, and that sucked. But but my oldest one is he's like Pokemon Rain Man. And so like he knows every little detail about every fucking thing about Pokemon, and he buys and sells cards and trades and stuff. And so he already had all his spots he was hitting, and he would just like peace out. Like he'd do some of his schoolwork and he would just like, all right, see ya. And he figured out like the train system and the buses and just like found all the shops and hung out there all day,
Wow. Yeah. And there's some fucking really good money to be made in that Pokemon stuff as well. So
dude, seriously. And because the yen was so low, he was getting crazy deals and like able to sell it for more here,
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yes.
Fair play.
Yeah.
That is business 101. I can just imagine you be like, I've done my geometry. I'm just gonna go and get a shiny Charizard now.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really awesome. Yeah, I love it there. And the band's been going since 2001, on and off. So it's been a while since I've been there.
Yeah. But I'm sure because the band has been giving you that gateway to travel so much of your life, it's cool to actually have time away from there going somewhere, right? Because, we know what foreign life is like. You get on the bus and everyone thinks like, oh, you're going to Australia, then it's be the best time ever, when you're really just hitting a couple of places. You don't really get to see the sights and stuff like that. So going to have like a family holiday like this, away from the band, it must be really, really nice to actually have time in places rather than just zip on by.
Yeah. And now I have like this like travel bug. I love like Southeast Asia and all those places. And I just want to travel with just, a fucking fanny pack and just like, that's it. You know what I mean? Bring one t-shirt, that vibe, minimalist style, and just do that. I think it's awesome. I think one day I hope to be able to do that. Like once my kids are out of the house and that kind of stuff, when I'm older.
Yeah.
You wait till that. Yeah. The Pokemon millions will come in now. He'll be gone.
Yeah.
And that'll be it. He'll be paying. Do you know what? He's going to be paying for you to go traveling with all his Pokemon, man. Oh, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll just be telling you, he'll be sending you places so you can go and make the deals for him. That's what it'll be.
Oh, that's it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll be his employee.
I'm just imagining people in the crowd that slam dunk now, just like halfway through the set, just be like, I've got this one's rare. Do you want it?
I've got it. Just holding it up. Just holding it up. Has he got this one? Has he got this one? Gyarados or something? Gyarados? Gyarados? I don't know. But yeah. Yeah. Weirdly, as a 41-year-old man, I've only recently got into Pokemon cards. I know nothing about it. I started watching a guy on YouTube because I was quite sad and depressed, and I saw a nice guy on YouTube who does what are they called? Conventions.
Conventions. Yeah.
He was just so lovely to, like, every kid he meets, he goes, "Who's your favorite Pokemon?" And then he just gives away cards to him, and just seeing the happiness on kids' faces, when they were getting something they weren't expecting, just cheered me up. And now, for some reason, I've now somehow got into bloody Pokemon. So,
oh shit, you're going down a fucking rabbit hole now. Now that you started, my son got me back into it, and I'm fine. I'm constantly ripping packs, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ripping packs. I love it. You're saying it like if it's a drug addiction. I need to rip a pack, man. I fucking need to rip a pack.
It kind of is, you know?
Yeah. I'm going to get the chase card. I'm going to get the chase card this time. This time is the chase card.
Damn it.
I've just realized Pokemon is drugs. So
it's drugs. It's drugs and gambling for kids.
Yeah. Yeah. And very slight entertainment, but gambling and drugs. Yeah. Mad. Anyway, yeah.
Well, we've ruined someone's childhood listening to this. Anyway, you mentioned that, like, obviously away from the band, you're just you, right? You're not the band guy. Is there anything in Jordan's day-to-day life that people, especially in music, maybe don't understand or have a misconception about you, or just kind of like are surprised by in any ways?
People are surprised by how tall I am. I know that's not what you're going for your questions.
That was I was gonna, if you didn't have anything, I was going to say that, because a lot of people do not realize how tall you are, and then it always becomes a thing.
Yeah, we're the whole band besides Ian, you know. Yeah. We're tall guys. I don't know. I think people might think that I'm not an approachable person, and that's not really like my vibe. Like, I'll talk to anybody, you know.
Hello. Yeah, here we are. You're talking to anybody now. Yeah. It's fine. I get it.
I mean, like, you know, I whatever. Like, I think that's, again, like, why tattooing, 90% of it for me is like just hanging with people. I think they'll be surprised at how approachable I am. And, you know, sometimes people take advantage. You know, there's fans that take advantage of that, but I'll be straightforward. I'll be like, dude, I got to shit, so I got to go. And I think people will realize that, or maybe they think that, I don't know, like, I'm trying to think what else, you know, I feel like I'm a pretty down to earth person. Like I consider myself a minimalist. I don't like go and buy fancy shit. Like, I don't care about stuff. Like, the band has done well, obviously. And I just like try to just live a comfortable existence and not, you know, be frivolous or whatever. And I don't know, I'm able to like still be in a band and do what I do. So.
Yeah, that's the best way to look at it. And it's the best way to just kind of enjoy both sides of life, right? As you said, you don't get to mix that both in too much, but it's quite nice like that.
And it's cool because like I have friends, you know, in bands that are wildly successful, have a lot of money, you know, are spending all the time and doing stuff. And it's nice to know that, like, if I wanted to do that kind of shit, like I guess I could, and I could keep up, but like, because we've been doing it for so long, but I don't. And I like that about myself. You know, I like that, like, my wife is cheap, and I like that I I love that I can go on tour with 3 t-shirts and 3 pairs of underwear and like not care. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe. So yeah, I think that people would be surprised by that.
I hope you mean 3 pairs of underwear for a 3-day tour and not a 3-week tour, because I have questions if it's the other way. 3-week tour.
Yeah.
Okay. Regularly laundromat, or are we flipping and switching sides every
flipping?
other?
Has anyone ever done that? Yeah.
I kind of cheat a little bit. Because we have like a wardrobe case that travels. You know?
Okay. Yeah.
So I have like stage shit in there, like underwear for like the show, that kind of stuff. I'm not that nasty.
Okay, cool. I'm just checking. If you crowd surf and anyone's, I just want people to realize not to be. I've gone too far.
I hate bringing luggage, and I hate checking shit in and stuff and waiting, and I just want to go. So yeah.
Back to the giant dog. What breed is the giant dog?
Great Dane.
Oh, it is a giant dog, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, Great Dane.
Nice.
She's cute. She's funny. They're goofy creatures, especially Great Danes. They're so goofy.
Going back to some of the seriously questions about Newfound Glory, like as I said, you are considered legends in this scene, right? And a lot of people would put you up there on the pop punk Mount Rushmore.
Sure.
Do you agree? Like, how do you see the band? Because, like, obviously, if I was to ask you for a Mount Rushmore, I'm sure you wouldn't include yourself. But are you in the sense of, like, you understand the juggernaut this band has become to be that influence?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Of course I do. We have, like we were talking about it earlier, there are bands that, they've gotten their band name from our songs, things like that. And like, to me, that's like so freaking cool. I love it, and when I meet these people, or when I'm hanging out with these people, like I thank them and I say, dude, that's awesome. And then we kind of just move on from that. I don't know. It's like, I just want to, I'm here for like the hangs, I think.
Yeah.
More than anything. I know it sounds so lame, but like, seriously, I want to hang with people. Like, I just want to get to know people. I don't want to talk about band shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to, like we were at a festival the other day. We were in Daytona, and it was this big rock festival, Knocked Loose and like Kill Switch and Green Day and all these bands that we've known, we know a lot of these guys from over the years. And there was some other bands that were, younger bands that were on the festival too. I'm not going to mention any names, and I'm not like talking crap or whatever, but they immediately just want to talk about business. Like, oh, wait, how many tickets are you guys selling? This and that. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I don't. Like, if we were to like to blow out a show, do you think we should play it in this venue or this venue? And I'm like, I don't know, man. Like, I don't care.
Yeah, fuck off. Talk to your manager or booking agent, not me.
And I'm like, if people want like an opinion, or if they want like some advice, sure, I'll give them that, and that's fine. Like, I'm down for that. But like the other stuff, I don't know. I just want to like just be normal, man.
Yeah. When you're in a band, I think you get to a certain level, or you get asked so many times that asking stuff about the other person's band is basically, it's almost a cop out. It's like, oh, isn't it nice weather we're having? Like, it's the weather question. It's like, oh, right, I don't know what to say. How's the band doing? Yeah, what's going on with the band? What are you doing next? Can I come? Like, what? It's just.
There's been times where like it'll be like a younger band that's on the festival or whatever, and they talk to me and they're like, "Oh, that's crazy! You guys are still doing it, man." I was like, yeah. Oh, that's crazy! You guys, so you guys are still doing it, huh? Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, but that to me sounds like somebody who knows for a fact and probably likes your band, but they just had to say it. They just had to say it to just get in there, just to be like, oh, I don't like your band as much as you think I do, So you're like, oh, well, you guys are still going. You've got the fucking latest album tattooed up your arm, you prick. People, man. People. But
I would just... next time that happens, Jordan, I would love for you to just reply with, do you know how many hits we've written? Have you seen that sentence?
We're on our 11th album. Yeah.
That's funny. Good times.
On the flip side to that, though, I am actually going to ask you, what is your pop punk Mount Rushmore if you had to pick one?
Does it have to be pop punk specifically?
I mean, you can mess around with it, whatever.
I like
you can give me a Mount Rushmore of best bands to hang out with on tour or whatever if you want. Like,
yeah. I think influential wise, like the Mount Rushmore would obviously, Billy Joe's got to be up there. Green Day's up there. Probably mine might be a little bit off left center, but probably Blake Schwarzenbach, Jawbreaker. Probably Milo from Descendants. Who else? And then, how many people are on Mount Rushmore? I don't even know.
4.
From the US.
4.
4, yeah. 4 until Trump gets his way. Any fucking day.
So that was 3. My 4th one, man, shoot. I would probably have to put I don't know. I got to think about the 4th one. Because I don't know. I don't know who it would be. If you were to ask me about shoegaze bands or something, then I'd have more to add.
Yeah. I
mean, well, hey, give us your shoegaze one if you want. Whatever. If you've got a Mount Rushmore of something you'd like to share, go ahead.
Well, it would probably be the big 4. So like My Bloody Valentine, Slow Dive, Ride, and maybe Medicine or Cocteau Twins, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, I've never really known this side of you. I didn't really.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. It's that's the stuff I loved growing up. And, then I also liked hardcore and punk too, but I had a couple friends that were older than me and they just got me into more of that kind of stuff. The My Bloody Valentine, I still have the cassette tape, from the Loveless cassette tape, so. Wow. It just opened a door to a lot of cool stuff for me. And that's why I love coming to the UK, because I can get imports of stuff of that,
Oh, yeah.
I bet Japan had some good ones as well.
They did, yeah. I was able to get a couple cool things. Yeah, nice. They have so much stuff.
Yeah. Here's a question we've started asking a lot of people in bands. Where's the weirdest place you've ever done a show? I once played a bull ring in Madrid, which is a theatre of death, which is mental.
Yeah.
That's the weirdest place I played.
I think the weirdest place was probably on top of a shopping mall in the Philippines.
Yeah,
on the roof of a shopping mall. Yeah, that's kind of weird.
How did that come about? Was it just a gig booked?
Yeah, it was just part of a Southeast Asia run. Cyrus was having his first kid, so he unfortunately missed that run, but we were having Mikey he was playing in Story So Far for a while, but he was in Set Your Goals, the drummer. So he was with us on that run and it was super fun. And we ended up playing this show in the Philippines in Manila. We were the only band that played and there was no opener. We played at 5 p.m. And it was like we were fucking Metallica. It was this weird dome on top of the mall.
Oh,
it was so weird. And there was maybe 6,000 kids in there just going off. Crazy.
Yeah, the way you started describing that then, I thought it was going to be one of the worst shows. You were there was no support. And I was like, oh no, they forgot to book everybody else. This is going to be a dreadful. But that's awesome.
I mean, Metallica plays in front of 60,000, but the way people were acting,
yeah.
I loved Southeast Asia, man. the Filipino people, they're so joyous, you know, they're just happy. I love it.
So with your love of like hardcore and shoegaze and everything, over the years, have you always taken little tricks and influences that you've heard from those bands when it comes to writing lyrics, or just techniques and kind of that kind of storytelling? Because I'm sure as the band goes on, you've evolved so much with how you do approach a song in terms of what you want to say.
Yeah. I think more lately, like, especially on this new record, like I contributed a bunch of lyrics this time around. And earlier on in our career too. And then there was a few years, like a few records have gone by where like I didn't really contribute much lyrically. It was one of those things where like Chad like had a really strong like passion for this for certain songs, and he really wanted to say a certain thing, and he wanted it to be as down to earth as possible, like, and really relatable. Where my like the way I write is more just like it's what's in my head, like more heady, I guess. Not heady, but like I don't know. I try to bring in like the thoughts I have going on, and also try to make it approachable too, but sometimes it doesn't come off that way. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely like I'm definitely like I am a lyric person. Like I'll listen to a band because of like lyrics. It has to have like the combo. Obviously, like I like songs that are well written too, but lyrics are a big thing for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Is there any Newfound Glory songs that either you feel like didn't get the kind of showcase or the spotlight they deserved looking back? Like any songs you think, man, I wish we released that as a single. I wish we played that more live from like the back catalog.
Yeah. Like there's a lot of songs on Coming Home I wish we had like released instead of the ones we did release as singles. I think Oxygen would have been a great song to release like as a single, that one. And then, you put out the heavier song first, and you put a ballad out or something. But like On My Mind was like such a cool song. I thought, you're always on my mind. It could have been a cool single at the time. And then songs there like songs on Catalyst. Like there's so many crazy songs on there that I didn't realize people loved so much until we did the 20-year anniversary tour last year. Was it this year or last year? I can't remember. Last year. Yeah. Like people, like we were playing songs like Doubtful and This Disaster, we were playing the record, and so many like kids were singing to This Disaster. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't know people liked this song that much. And Doubtful too. Like that one's such a weird song. Like, like it's like people were singing, going off for that one. And I was like, this is awesome. And now those are like some of my favorite songs to play. So
yeah, it's mad how things can just evolve over time and stuff as well.
Yeah.
And if we're speaking of songs that people go insane for, I've got to mention that obviously we've just Sappenin Podcast we've started a partnership with Emo's Not Dead. We're doing a lot of stuff together with that. But obviously you guys you did a song with Cutchill for Your Broken Hero, Red Light Kisser, which I have to say, the chorus of that song since it's come out is being in my head at least once a week. How did that hook come about? Because I need to know for my brain to process this chemicals that react to it.
That was all Matt, dude. Like that was all Matt. And when he played me the song, I was like, dude, this is awesome. Like I would love to be, he asked me to sing on it, and I was like, yeah, absolutely. And it's funny because we kind of met like through he wanted me on one of the Emo's Not Dead, like one of the little bits for YouTube.
Yeah.
And then through that, like we just became friends, and then we did the cruise, and then I was on the song, and it just kind of happened organically. It wasn't like anybody reaching out like, man, here's my manager talking to your manager. Like it wasn't anything like that, which I love. Like that, those are the best kind of relationships to me. I love that. I love just being direct and like just, and if it's something cool, then I'll do it. Like, and it was the same kind of vibe with like when Black Bear hit us up too to do a song with him. I had met him a long time ago because my friend Kelly, who has done a lot of Black Bear's tattoos, I was tattooing with Kelly in his spot in Orange County. And Black Bear would come in and get tattooed. And that one day I was joking. I was like, yo, man, let me get on a hot track one of these days. and then a year or two later, he hit me up and was like, hey, you want to sing on this song? And I was like, absolutely.
Wow.
So I love that. Or I just like where things can just kind of happen naturally, you know? And like, for me, and maybe I should have done it more over the years, but I'm never like looking out for like, all right, I'm going to like try and hit this guy up and like become friends with him just so I can get on his song and become popular, whatever. Like, I don't, you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, it's always being more of a chill vibe for you guys with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
How did you find the Emos Not Dead cruise? You guys did the first year.
Yeah.
We've been on the 2 years since, and we have the best time. But playing on there, I'm sure, is a whole other experience.
Yeah. It was super fun. I love it because it's like, it's a free vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's cool because when we do those kind of events, like we've done the Paramore cruise twice, we've done the Emos Not Dead cruise, and when we're on the ship, it's like, I don't know. Do you remember seeing the videos being played throughout the day, like in your room, like how to act when a band guy is around and like that kind of stuff? And people actually follow the rules, which is awesome. And so like you can walk around shoveling your face at the buffet and no one's going to bother you. You know, they'll say hi or whatever. And it's like, it's great. It's so much fun. And what I love that it spans all sort of like people, you know, it brings all sorts of different people together, young and older. And I love that, you know. I love how many like younger people are like into this kind of stuff now, you know? And it's funny, like I would be like walking around the ship and I think I took more photos with like the staff of the ship than I did with actual fans because a lot of them are from like the Philippines, Malaysia, you know, they're like Southeast Asian and they live on the ship and work on the boat. And so like, they'll come up to me and be like, oh, can I get a photo with you? And they're like, Jordan, you're so famous in my country. Like, when are you coming back? Kind of thing. And I was like, oh man, that's funny. So it's super fun. I love it.
I'm the king of Manila. I'm above the law in Manila.
And then I'll go to Germany and play like the same like 500 cap room I've been playing the past 20 years.
It's weird, isn't it? And it's very strange. It's like you can go like, I've never been to Brazil, right?
Yeah.
But it is still to this day, it's a comment that my band gets, come to Brazil. I don't know. For all I know, we could be fucking massive in Brazil and we've just never been there. And
for the blackout?
For the blackout. Yeah. The blackout got a lot of Brazilian offers from people, but never promoters, so it couldn't have been that big. But just fucking come to Brazil, just all of the time. And then, and then, like you said, we go to Germany and we play to fucking 200 people. It's just bonkers.
It's so weird. The Germans tell us, you are too punk for pop and too pop for punk.
Yeah, that's
so they don't know. They don't know what to do.
No, and they will tell you as plainly and straightly as they possibly can, because they have no. There's almost like there's no fucking filter. It's just like, here's what I think about your band. I'm about to tell you to your face. Do with this information what you like. But like,
and it's funny that we all know this bit. Like it's just a running joke that everybody in a band knows. Like what? Like.
Yeah, I've told this story before, but I once saw a band being interviewed in Germany, and the German journalist said to him, "So, your new album, you like it, right? Right?" And then he said, "Yeah, I do, yeah." And the guy said, "Why? It is not as good as your other albums." Yeah. And I was like, unbelievable. Fair play to his face. Yeah. You fucking, yeah.
I don't know why they just love doing that. I don't know why.
Insane.
That's just an inside joke between all Germans. They're like, oh, do you know what?
Probably.
I'm going to meet Jordan today. Oh, I wonder how I can upset him.
But like they feel the need to tell you, and it's like, dude, I just busted my ass for this. What did you do? Like, you know what I mean? I was just in the studio away from my family for a month. Like,
it's mad, isn't it? Yeah. But,
yeah.
Dude, well, as we start to wind down on this, because, we want to let you get back to enjoy the time off you have before you get on a flight. But obviously, you are coming back, UK Slam Dunk Festival this weekend. You guys have basically had a second home over here with just all the love the UK has shown you guys over the years. Is there any standout moments that always come back to you about the UK when you get back on the flight, whether it be about tours or festivals, or even maybe some other tour memories with the Blackout that one time?
Oh God, no! Don't try not to remember that for your sake. Funnily enough, the Kerrang is just over there as well. The Kerrang cover we were all on together.
Yep. I do remember that. Like when I heard I was doing this podcast with y'all again, like it brought back memories of like us touring together, and I was telling my wife about it, and I was like, oh man, I just remember those dudes being so funny and like fun to hang out with, and I don't know, I have like so many good memories of coming to the UK, and like from, playing the show to like hanging out in the dressing room until you get kicked out because there's like a dance party that night. And then you just have to like walk the streets of, wherever you are looking for like some sort of shitty pub, and it's raining out, and, then you get to a pub, and then of course there's fans at the pub, and like everyone's, drunk and you're punishing each other. And like,
yeah,
it's just, I don't know. There's so many good memories, like playing like the different festivals. Like we haven't played Slam Dunk in a while. So people that we know that are in bands that have played it in the last couple of years, they were like, dude, it's crazy how big it's gotten. Because I remember playing in like the quad of like that college,
Yeah.
And even then that was like super wild, So now that it's like in a massive park somewhere, like is crazy to me. And so like, I think it's going to be, it's cool. And I'm looking forward to like seeing friends, and kind of maybe like reliving those old times, playing like, I remember hanging out with, what festival was that? It was a festival out there, and we were with, who were we with? It was like the Hit the Lights guys, and like, who else was there? I don't know. Either way, I remember we were all playing like beer pong, and everyone's just like shit housed, and like just loud, and it's just a good time. I don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah.
And it's like, I can be away from like, I don't have to worry about like dad shit while I'm there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
That's very true. That is very, very true. Well, man, I cannot wait to see you guys again this weekend. It's just going to be very, very fun. Got my fingers crossed that the weather stays good, because there's nothing more fun than singing along to your songs in the sunshine.
Correct.
Yeah, that's what I hope happens too. And I think we're playing at a good time. We're playing at like 6 p.m. So I think the sun will just be going down. It'll feel nice out. Hopefully it doesn't rain. So
it's the perfect time. Yeah, people are not too fucking drunk yet.
Yeah.
So I reckon for 7 o'clock onwards, it's a write-off. It's a write-off. Don't bother. Nobody bother playing after 7 p.m. Everybody's drunk by then. Right. Last question from me. UFOs. Have you ever seen one?
I did, actually. I swear to God. I swear.
Yep.
I've seen him twice. I've seen it twice.
Can you? Can you quickly.
You want the details?
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay. One time I was on my friend Jason from high school. We would walk to the bus stop together from our neighborhood, and I would always wait on his front porch early in the morning, like 5:30, 6 a.m. to wait for him to come out so we could walk. So I'd knock on the door. He'd be like, "I'll be out in a second." I'd sit on his porch, and I'm sitting out there, and I'm looking out into the nothing, just in my thoughts, and I see like this orange orb in the distance just floating there. And then I turn around and like be like, "Jason, come out here," to like tell him what's in the sky, and then it was gone. Yeah. So that was one time. Other time was and these are both in Florida. So, and then the second time I took photos of it too. The second time I was able to get some photos, which I can probably find somewhere. I was at my dad's house visiting him, and I had a really, really early flight. My flight was at 6 a.m. So I was out on his front patio, sitting in a chair, waiting for my Uber to come pick me up, take me to the airport. And it was like 4 a.m. So it was still dark out, and I'm sitting there. I look up, and it's like 3 white lights, like in a triangle formation,
Yeah.
3 white lights. I say, holy shit, I have my phone in my hand. I snap some photos of it. Look to like, shit, like gets, at my phone for like half a second to make sure I got the photo, and then it was gone.
Wow.
So
yeah,
whatever, maybe it's military, maybe it was something else. I don't know, but I don't know. It was too close to all the other stories that I've heard about what they look like for it not to be. So I don't know.
I'm flying.
I have the photos. I have photos of it.
Nice. Awesome. Yeah. That's amazing. I'm glad good. Because I've asked that a few times, and a couple of people have gone, no, I don't fucking believe. And I'm like, oh, well, that's not fun, is it? Come on, man. Just have a believe in it, and then we'll move on. But yeah, that's amazing. Thank you very much. And can't wait to see you this weekend. I'll see you in the pit. Oosh.
Yeah, hell yeah. Thanks, guys.
You're listening to Sappenin Podcast.
Yes. Woo! That was the lovely, brilliant, intelligent, gorgeous, and strong Jordan Pundik of Newfound Glory.
Yes, it was. I am very excited to go and, well, I was going to say stage dive or crowd surf, because that's not me, but do the same amount of energy of things in the crowd to their sets of Slam Dunk this weekend.
The Macarena. Like,
the Macarena.
Really hard.
I reckon I could do the Macarena really hard.
Anyway, as you heard, a very interesting chat here with Jordan. What a great egg. And good to hear all the stories and just catch up with him, really. He was lovely. Yeah, they got a new single out right now, 100%, which is unapologetically Newfound Glory. So if you love the pop punk, you're going to absolutely love that. New album to come out later in the year as well. You just heard all the gossip about it. But from what he just said, it's made me even more excited to see the next chapter of this band. They will be returning to the UK for a full tour later on in the year as well. So make sure you go to newfoundglory.com for all the information, dates, and where you can get your tickets. Right now, they're on sale. And hopefully there'll be a lot more Sappenin Newfound Glory magic in the next few months to come around this album as well. Yes, hopefully we might even get to speak to one or two of them at Slam Dunk. Fingers crossed. Hopefully. Fingers crossed, hopefully. Who knows? If you head to emosnotdead.com and then put /Sappenin, there's a lovely part of their website that's dedicated to us now. And there's loads of things about the podcast, and you can listen to the podcast over there as well as wherever you That's where they put our nudes up, right? I said no. I sent you to them in confidence, Sean. I don't think. Well, I sent them to them, and they put them on that website. Oh, just told that's people where to go to see the naked photos now. Shit! Don't zoom in. You're gonna need to zoom in if you want to look, but don't zoom in. Well, we just took all those Polaroids to Patreon. So what do we do with them now? We sign them and sell them on Patreon? Well, the scratch and sniff ones. Yeah. I mean, we could do, but I don't think it'd sell very well. I smelled them. What do they smell like? Behind. The scenes at patreon.com/Sappenin. Go and support us over there. You can get... Are we allowed to do this? I don't fucking know. There's a whole community of people. Sorry, Emo's not dead. That we love. We absolutely love. Who help make this thing happen each and every week. And if you sign up, you get involved with a huge community. They're actually meeting up on the regular and at Slam Dunk, having their own parties together and stuff like that. So if you want to get involved, patreon.com/Sappenin. I'm about to read out a bunch of names of those lovely people who occupy the top tiers. They are as follows. Special thank you to Kai Wheeler, Paul Hirschfield, Tony Michael, Scarlett Charlton, Nathan Crawshaw, Mitch Perry, Diddy Grimwood, Johanna, Molly Malloy and James Bowerbank, Jonathan Gutierrez, Amy Louise, Kat Besant, Ian Gent, Amy Hogg, Chris Howard, Jenny Robertson, Amy Dawson, Scott Jones, Mayumi, Stuart McNair, Ellen Southfield, John Manella, Jennifer Dean, Carolyn Robertson, Span, Jenny Munster, Craig Harris, Lewis Cook, Carl Panglebury, James McNair, Jason Heredia, Danny Eaton, Martina McManus, Thomas O'Neill, Ollie Amesbury, Emily Perry, Dan Peregrine, Adam King of the Goths Parslow, Khalila King, Josh, DeLorean for sale, great condition, low mileage, only driven from time to time, crisp. My favourite film, so I actually like that. Lavanya Lee Martin, Sophia Zarufska,
Laura Russell, Fraser Cummings, Kyle, King of the Sloth Smith, and last but no means least, Connor Lewins and family.
Thank you very much to everybody involved who's ever been involved in our Patreon. If you check out the description of this episode on wherever you're listening, you will see many more names as well. And we just want to thank everybody involved in our Patreon. As always, this would not be possible without them. So thank you very much to all of them. Get involved, you bastards. And if not, see you next week, hopefully.
Yes. I hope so. Unless we're sunburned from Slam Dunk or drowned from the rain at Slam Dunk. Drowned, mate. Drowned.
Professional speaker, Morgan.
What's the correct?
I've been gone and drowned. Anyway.
Sappenin!
Fucking drowned. Go on, man.
You're listening to Sappenin Podcast with Sean Smith and Morgan Richards. Thank you very much for downloading this podcast or streaming it, or I don't know what else you do with podcasts. Thank you very much.